RPM Trade Vietnam with a live stream. It's been a while. I won't be making as many videos as I be wanting to, or doing as many live streams, because I've been trying to be productive and attentive to a couple LLCs that I got going on. I've been trying to lock in more tangible progression in the independent film angle, because I'm an aspiring filmmaker. Some of y'all don't know that. I went to college for this and all that. I'm an aspiring filmmaker turned activist, because my ownership of a firearm for defense purposes turned into a deep, thorough examination of gun laws and how they're different from state to state, which is something that any gun owner should know. But in my evaluation of how all of that goes between states, I realized that something was very wrong with it. Government being who they are, being in control of something like a natural right to self-preservation. Defense is never wrong, so they don't get to tell me what I get to defend myself with. It's kind of crazy. So once I discovered all that, my gun ownership turned into activism. I was like, man, there's something wrong with this shit. This is crazy. But until I bought a firearm, and I was like 27 years old, I bought my first firearm. I think I was about 27. I might have been like 25. I might have been like 25 when I bought my first firearm. Yeah, I was like 25, because this was like 2006, summer 2006. So, yeah, it's been that long since I've been into guns. And yeah, like I said, buying my first gun and trying to be knowledgeable about the laws in Iowa, where I live, and in other states, I was like, oh yeah, something's wrong here, bro. Somebody's in the wrong right now. And it can't go unaddressed. It was way too serious. I was trying to be a serious gun owner, and in my seriousness in my gun ownership, I became a fucking revolutionary fucking gun rights activist, bro. Because fuck contradictions and inconsistencies was something so goddamn serious. It don't even make no sense that they would be the ones to be telling us what to do anyway. We can get into that if y'all want to, especially if you're new here, or if you don't know how I get down. Most of the time, it'd be my usual suspects. I get some views, but my videos just don't be getting a whole lot of views. I can't say that it's not all, that there's not none of me. There's something I can do to make myself a little bit more marketable. I don't really know what that is. I'm just trying to be me. I don't give a fuck about being marketable, but it would be nice if I got more eyes and ears on what it is that on a constitution as if it was some kind of a source. That source is really the only angle that they have to get you to chill out and not fight them while they talk you out of something that deserves a fight. It's the only thing that it ever does, because it has not stopped them from violating you, but it will stop a lot of you motherfuckers from giving them the fight that they deserve for ever talking to us about them guns in the first place. That I don't care how extreme it is. Everything that they do is extreme. I think we should have told them from day one about these gun rights, is that if they ever even bring it up, as if they're going to use their time serving the public in their offices to debate us about something as God-given and as non-negotiable as gun rights, if they even mention it like they want to do that, they are fucking fired on sight as soon as they start talking like that. They couldn't openly talk about the child trafficking that they doing, right? They openly talk this shit to you about this gun shit because they have an angle on you. They got an angle on you about your kids too. It's a birth certificate and all of the jabs that they get a little shorties before they can even get their eyes open right and make eye contact with their parents and start to form a bond way before they can even do that. They're getting all of these shots and stuff, man. Listen, there's a lot going on here, and I think that there's deal breakers all over the place when you talk about big pharma, you talk about government control, policing. Fuck the police. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. And then people know police personally, or they got this personal anthropomorphized idea of this golden fucking cop. When I say fuck the police, I'm not saying fuck the police to the golden cop, right? There's no such thing as a golden cop, right? One that is just the ideal fucking police officer. You can't be an ideal police officer because they make you divorce who the fuck you think you are. You're supposed to leave that shit at home so that you can be whatever it is that their jurisdiction just so happens to have on the books for you to live and fucking kill or be killed by. That's how that goes. That's what it's about. You can't be yourself and be a cop. You're going to bump into things where you're going to go, why the fuck is this even legal for this asshole to do this? We need to change these laws. You'll be a cop feeling like that, being able to do nothing about something that you might happen to disagree with. And vice versa. If you think something shouldn't be illegal, but the fucking law says it is, now you got to act like you care that much that you look like you like the law, but deep down you really don't. You know how many times I've seen or heard of a cop tell somebody that they wish weed was legal, that they didn't have to act like that it should be legal like alcohol, but the law's the law and blah blah blah. And right then and there, he is willing to die to stay in tune with his employment behind that. When he disagrees with it, and if they change the law, then he'll say, okay, now I won't chase all about the weed. I'm glad that they changed the law like this, because I personally feel like this my entire career until they changed it. Thank you for changing it. This is how the cop feels. But I think that there's something wrong with even the police officers giving up their humanity to fit inside of this framework that we call the law society, government, and whatever fucking angle you want to take on describing these dictators, because that's what they are. They do things to y'all that I wouldn't think that I would ever have any illusion or any right, power, or grace for me to do it to you. What government do to y'all, what other group of people could even get away with that shit? They couldn't. You would call everybody else crazy for trying. They couldn't even talk like they were going to act towards you the way government does, because even the talking would rile you up into a reaction to say, I gotta stop this group. We gotta stop this group of people. Do y'all hear these motherfuckers, what they said they're gonna do to us? So you say, oh no, that was Governor so-and-so in their offices writing this shit down is what they plan on presenting to y'all to tell y'all that this is what the new deal is. Huh. And then you go, oh, okay, let them threaten us with death, no less, for not abiding by these laws, because every law is a death threat anyway. Because if you tell them to fuck off about any law, no matter how minuscule you think it is, tell them to fuck off with every fiber of your being about it, and it will lead to them killing you. Because there's nothing that they won't, there's nothing that they'll cut your life some grace for it to say that there's no other place but to go, no other place to go with a conflict between y'all except for physical violence. And if they feel like you yourself are willing to go all the way to your death about this shit, they won't make the moral call to say, then why would we continue to attack this man over a $300 citation and a suspended license because he refused to pay it? I'm not going to fight this man to the death about this, but any cop that wants to be a cop is going to have to say that none of those details matter. What he thinks is not what it is. He's supposed to follow fucking orders, and orders say that there's a warrant for this man's arrest for that suspended license, and you see this motherfucker driving that car to the death of the both of you if necessary. Stop him. This is what the law society says, and cops that disagree with that or not really feel like that's really a thing that they should be risking their life for is just going to follow orders. That's why I don't like no cops. You can't tell me there's a such thing as a good one. I'm not talking about what his intentions are. Somebody tried to tell me on the fucking internet on IG last week that when I said one no such thing as a good cop, they was like, are you that fucking dumb that you think that every cop became a cop to be one of the bad ones? You don't think none of them wanted to fucking become a cop to be some good to the world? I go, yeah, but his intentions ain't got nothing to do with the fucking lawful orders that he's going to be given to do things that he might knowingly fucking disagree with, but he's gonna go, and that's what I don't like. And you can see very clearly how this is a great possibility that every cop is locked inside of something that's like that, whether he's crossed that path with his career or not. That has yet to be seen. But I would imagine every cop says, this is what the job wants me to do. I don't feel like doing that shit though. I don't think that that's how that should be done at all. That might be overkill or underdoing something. I don't know what perspective they might have, but cops don't always 100% agree with the system that they have given themselves into to live and die by whatever's on the magical fucking paper. That's crazy. They don't agree all the time. They don't even know what all of it is. People be doing audits on these cops all the time. You can see them stumbling through simple, basic shit like the Constitution, constitutional rights, the First Amendment, the Second Amendment, right? You can see them stumble on how that's supposed to go. Sometimes you can see them not being able to keep their feelings out of it, which the job tried to keep them from doing. Get your feelings out of it. Do what you're told. And in some cases, I'm glad you told this motherfucker to get out his feelings and do what he's told. In other cases, I go, oh man, you're making a less of a man out of this guy, and he thinks he's the hero. Because he's got to divorce himself of himself every time he puts that uniform on, and that's got to hurt a little bit. To not be able to be your true self and to actually have to live, kill, or be killed about it. Y'all cannot make me honor that shit. I think y'all are weird as fuck that you either can't figure it out or you don't understand when I describe it to you how there's no such thing as a good cop. I think y'all are dumb, man. And y'all are, and a lot of times, which I think is a fucking feminine trait, y'all will lead y'all entire lives off your feelings, even in the face of a truth that you know you can recognize. Y'all will still do it because of how it made you feel. It feels bad to say that there's no such thing as a good cop. You can only get lucky and hope that the man inside the uniform can have this entanglement with whatever's written on the paper, and that some way, somehow, all of that comes together to actually save you when nobody else could or would. If all of that happens to you inside of law enforcement, then I say, yes, that's awesome. Thank that officer for doing that. But in reality, whatever that officer was doing was probably something that was either the responsibility of the would-be victim or his friends and family around him. That's all y'all responsibility first, as far as protection, sticking up for yourself, and all of that shit. Now, I'm not saying that people couldn't bring cases to a court type of a system, but the way law enforcement is out here obviously overstepping their boundaries, like there's a cop right here off the side of the highway right now. On the on-ramp, probably taking radar. They like to do that up here, and I know that there used to be a camera up here, and I don't know if it still is, but I heard some months ago that maybe they were taking this fucking highway camera off of 380 right here that runs through Cedar Rapids. And if they did, that would explain why the cop is back there on the off-ramp, sitting there chilling, hawking and shit. And that's what I was just about to say. It's like the universe put this motherfucker there so I can further my fucking point of what I was just about to say. You can easily see how they overstep their boundaries when they're supposed to be protecting society. They're supposed to be protection for the people that cannot or will not protect themselves. But they're out here extorting people. Because if people are speeding and you don't see evidence of how reckless their speeding was by them creating a victim or damaging some property, if you have none of that, then you don't have a crime that you're dealing with. To be standing out here with this hidden tax on the people by charging people for the fact that you know that they're going to speed. So instead of finding better ways to prevent them from speeding or really detour the mentality of speeding, because I can think of a few things that don't involve siphoning money out of the people. And it'll work just as good as siphoning money out of the people. You can do other things to make your presence known so that people don't speed. You don't need to be out here and be like, go ahead and speed. Hopefully you don't notice me. I'm going to notice you, and then I'm going to tell you that you owe us $120 and we'll see how far this goes over $120. You going to pay that money? Or you're not going to pay the money? Don't move that car. Or you want to move the car, or we will chase you. Or you want to go fast, we go faster. Or you want to pop out, nigga, you pop out. My gun is on me, in my hands now, pointed at you, which I'm not supposed to do unless I know I'm going to shoot. But the first thing that the cops do when they show up to a hostile situation is point at somebody. I can't do that unless I also intend on shooting, or they call that something. If I pull a gun on somebody and point it at them, I don't shoot. And then I don't really find a reason to shoot, and the only thing that really happens is I drew my gun and pointed at somebody, they're going to question what I did that for. You make a case out of somebody by saying that might have been intimidation with a deadly weapon. What were you trying to accomplish if you didn't draw that gun to shoot somebody? If you didn't draw it to shoot somebody, why you draw it? Leave it there. Come on, don't do that. Like they recommend that we not do that, right? And when you become a firearms owner, plural, because you got to get more than one, please do. You learn the law, and then you start to learn like how to match your conduct in public with the law so that you never be confused for being the aggressor in a self-defense situation where you legit trying to defend yourself. You can't be confused as the aggressor, bro. Don't let that happen. Right? So be on your fucking best behavior and try to make it clear and as obvious as possible that you don't want no smoke, but you will give it. And then look into all of I should make a video about this, but look into all of the things that you're supposed to do when you are involved in a self-defense shooting. There's a protocol. The best way for you to protect yourself from being attacked by police officers when they show up to the scene, and to fucking make sure that you stay, hopefully not even arrested. You shouldn't even really be arrested. There's a way that you can get involved in a self-defense shooting and not even be arrested. There's gun owners insurance and everything to kind of help back you up. I'll do a video on all of that type of stuff later. But the hidden tax on the people with the fines and the citations, bro, is wrong. And what's crazy is that people who back the blue, these sausage sucking fucking pussies that love the cops so much they can't see their own responsibility for protecting them damn selves and their family. Because if they saw that sincerely, they would say, well, I never envisioned the cops really saving my life or my kids' life, really, because I took on the responsibility so wholeheartedly that I have removed that from the illusion of who they say they are to me. And what's left when I remove that protection away from you, right? When I take that illusion of protection out of the image of what you think a police officer is, everything that's left sounds like gangster shit. It sounds like shit that I know I better not fucking damn do to you, or I know I'm gonna go to fucking prison. I know that. If I treat you like a cop would, I go to prison. Fuck out of here. I can't make you identify yourself because I didn't like the way you were driving. And I need that ID to have a fucking valid and a current address on it, so I know where to come looking for you for, how far we gonna go with this. I'm not gonna stop because your kids are around. Don't let me catch up to you about this money. Don't move that fucking car. How they can tell you not move your car? Because possession is 9/10 of the law. That's your car, kinda. They made you register that shit with a license plate so they can keep track of you. To do what? To identify you way before they can ever really articulate a suspicion that you are guilty of a crime and that you should identify yourself. I've proven in open carry demos when the cops try to identify me and I go, no, sir. Huh? And then we all walk off peacefully too. No ID you got from me, motherfucker. And nobody had to scream or fight or shoot or do nothing. Just step the fuck off. Leave me alone, right? I've done that to prove that I don't got to identify myself until he can accuse me of a crime. But the license plate gives them the possibility to identify you way before they can ever try to articulate any suspicion that you are in the midst of committing a crime, or that you have, and that you owe some restitution to somebody. Way before they can even get to all that, they can identify you, and they make you pay for it with the license plate on your car. This is crazy. And because they say that shit is registered, registration equals ownership. They are partial owner of the car. That's why when they take it from you, when they impound the shit, it's not theft, bro. They say you owe them this part of the relationship between you and them about that motherfucking license plate and the registration. Crazy. And then they tell you, oh, it's gotta be like this. No, it don't. Tell them not to. Yeah, and if they don't like that shit when you call them out on constitutional violations off of something as simple as the license plate, especially when you put that shit in conjunction with citations and all type of other shit they try and give you, they ain't no victim around, bro. They're not even supposed to be doing none of this. And if you back the blue ass motherfuckers like following the rules so much, what happens when I tell you that these rule makers are the rule breakers? Do you still like the rules enough to say, man, follow all the rules, everybody? Because if you feel like that and you intellectually honest about that, you got to join me when I say fuck the police, because they breaking all the shit they say they're going to protect us from. Period. Now tell me that I'm wrong, or that I'm stupid, or that I'm lying, or that's not how it goes. Somebody tell me that. I bet you can't. That's exactly how it goes. Y'all play too fucking much. Either you can't see it, I'll tell you then, and then when I say it, if you can't see it still after I say it, I'm trying to be as smooth and direct as possible. I can't help y'all after that, bro. This is y'all fault that everything is like this in the world in the first place. And I've already fucking reconciled. I try to reconcile this shit every day of my life, that one day I'm gonna die. I know that, right? If you try and reconcile it, then it reduces the level of fear that you have inside of that. And once you reduce the level of fear, and maybe it is because I'm getting older, because the older you get, the more you start going, damn, I survived my 20s and my 30s. My teenage years was kind of wild too. You know, my teenage years, 20s, 30s, and I'm in my 40s right now. I've been surviving. Like, how long can you survive when shit is out here crazy like this? I mean, shit, my body is all it takes. The body will turn on itself after a while. It just kind of turns itself off after a while, even if nobody hurts you. you're gonna go. So when you face all of that, you start telling yourself, okay, well, bullshit ain't about nothing. I find less and less energy to bullshit, and I really just like being a voice of wisdom and reason to people that are willing to listen, hopefully to get ahead of me. That's why I love my 21-year-old son so much. I'm proud of the boy. He's way smarter than what I was at his age, and he's got a father like me in his life to be giving him this game that he ain't got to wait until he's 44 years old to figure it out. This shit took me all my life to come to these conclusions about certain things. He gets to hear it right now at 21 years old. He is lucky, because he's going to be way ahead of me in the game and the average man on how honest can you be about describing where you are in life in general, planet Earth, what's going on here, how is it going, how has it gone, history is important, where is it going, do you have any influence or idea at all about where the fuck any of this is going? Oh, you just coasting by while somebody else leads you. I don't need to be led about nothing. I'm gonna die one day, and in 100 years motherfuckers might not even remember that I was ever here. I don't give a fucking fuck about saying fuck the police when I think they are morally wrong and I can prove it, and you can't tell me that I'm wrong, that I'm wrong, or that I'm lying, or that I'm just mad about something. I've never been beat up or overly arrested by a cop. I ain't never been in prison on nothing. I spent 20, maybe 26 or 27 hours in the jail cell. That's my longest stay. 26 or 27 hours over some dumb ass shit, actually. It was actually kidnapping. I got kidnapped. There was no victim attached to this little petty bullshit that they had going on. As a matter of fucking fact, the resolution, once I actually got to court after being released, was so simple that I was surprised that they thought that they was willing to arrest me, to put me in a fight or flight position. Because if I would have fought, the arresting officer, he would have said, this petty shit that you're going to solve in 10 or 15 minutes of talking in a courtroom, it'll be settled. Until then, this cop was willing to arrest me, test my gangster, see how bad I did not want to be arrested, how I felt about him or myself or my own fucking life, my mental stability at the time. He didn't know none of these things. He just said, I'm willing to arrest you and we can take this as far as you want to go. He was willing to be killed, or for him to end up killing me for what? For an arrest that took 27 hours and a 10-minute talk to a judge in a fucking courtroom the following fucking day? Bro, it's crazy to me. Y'all are willing to do a lot, bro. And what they are willing to do to you and where they willing to go in regards to like checking you about a whole bunch of crazy shit that don't even got a victim attached sounds insane crazy to me. But then y'all want, just out of y'all motherfucking feelings, because you haven't accepted your own death or the death of everybody that you fucking know, you fucking blind asshole walking through life like you think you're gonna get through this shit out, okay? You all gonna die at the end of the fucking story, you fucking fuck. Get used to the idea, because it's the truth, and then put that shit in perspective when you live your life every day. I think you guys are missing something. Y'all are missing some motivation to get your fucking shit right, because y'all all living fucking life like a naive fucking 12, 13-year-old kid that thinks, death, that's for old folks, and that's not for me. I don't even fucking know. I don't understand that. I won't go there. And then you just la the fucking death talk, right? Get in tune. You're gonna die one day. You know what that means? Stop all the fucking bullshit playing. Racist, you motherfuckers are insane, crazy, stupid. You have a mental illness, black or white or Chinese. I don't give a fuck what flavor your racism comes in. If you think you're better than other people because of the color of your skin and nothing else, you very quickly, you very quickly show your hand, because your moral expressions of being superior instantly make you immoral, because y'all say the dumbest, crazy, most immoral, crazy shit. I've been talking to this fucking racist dude on IG and some posts about some kids shooting at each other, some black kids shooting at each other. No, they was actually fighting. There was no shooting. They were fighting, right? A black kid was fighting a white kid. What's funny about the internet is that black or white, everybody takes it to the racial issue instead of asking what kid started it. Why are these kids fighting? You know, whoever's in the wrong should get beat up. I don't care about the skin color. I'm really more focused on the moral issue. But I notice that people don't really feel like that. A great majority of people who I come across don't think or feel like that. And when you try to project that same ratio out into the world, and you just kind of imagine that with enough influence and gathering of data in your human studies on social media, when you do that like I do, what you see is that the potential for people to be hiding what they really harbor as like a bit of racism, that shit is probably way more prominent than what white people who are not prejudiced, y'all have no idea how bad it is, because not that white people can't go through racism, because yes, you can. But you're really less likely to go through racism because I'm trying to explain it to y'all. I think the title of racist belongs to a rare group of people who are so racist that they cannot and will not fake it, not even for a little bit. They're actually just ready and willing to go to war about it. Now, some fake racists, they on the internet, they pretend to be that ready, but they not. Because I had to point it out to these motherfuckers that they walk past 100 black people every day, and they smile in their faces and all type of shit, and they don't really want that smoke, and they try to act like civil human beings when they get civil contact from any fucking human being, and that's who they really are. A real racist wants to die for that shit. He'd be honored. He'd be honored to have that be the reason why he died. That's what he stands on. That's what he means, and he can't play around and fake it. Faking it is showing you how your racist ways are unproductive, and there's better choices to be made, and you can keep that shit to yourself and try to get past it to give people an individual chance, and then just judge on character. If you don't like black people, be nice to the ones that ain't really giving you no issue. And if one of them gives you an issue, if you want to blame their blackness for the fact that they gave you an honest issue, I don't know if I can really be mad at that, especially if I see you knowingly take the high road beyond what it is that you feel, and then you start applying some logic to your life that you can't treat everybody like the ones that you don't like. You got to kind of let their character choose whether they deserve that or not. I think that's what most people do. That's why I don't believe racism is like a real thing, because people are willing to hide it. It's really something else. You can't be willing to hide it and then call yourself a racist for real. You can't have black friends and then call yourself a racist for real. So when I see you talking like a racist would, but I know that you are not racist, I know you're using the internet to talk really tough about something that you don't want to live that tough shit about, right? And this white guy does not want to live that tough shit like that. I pulled his card big time. When I saw his racist comment, he said something about wanting to bring the trees, and motherfuckers get back to the trees and blah blah blah. And this is what a grown ass man, school kids fighting, and it incited inside of him images of a desire to express to the rest of the world through this internet. Anybody could have seen this shit, and he put it out there for anybody to see, right? Profile pictures of him and his wife kissing, right? He's a married man, right? Right next to their fucking beautiful wedding picture of them kissing is this nasty comment that he says this about the trees, and it only took a high school fight between a black kid and a white kid to inspire him to go this far, right? To leave that comment for the world to see. Claims to be claim to be superior to other people because other motherfuckers just ain't got a lot of morals, don't know how to act civilized in society. These are all the things that he was saying behind this comment, right? I hear all of this. You cannot tell me that you don't feel like that, but then you said something about the trees. You do feel like this. Like the skin color is the indicator of an uncivilized animal. And when they get out of line, even in the slightest, it's a high school fight between kids, you mentioned trees. You see how crazy this is? Claims to be a better man than me. I'm way more morally sound and emotionally sound than to react like that with that much violence over some teenagers fighting in a high school bathroom. That's all it took for him to talk like this. Thinks he's a better man than me. Thinks he's a safer man in society than I am. Bro, it takes me way more than that to feel like that about another human being. I think I'm the safer bet in society. I'm the more civilized person than you are. It'd be nice if he was watching my YouTube, but he's a pussy. He will never check in to see who the fuck it is that I really am. He ran and hid his profile. His profile was open in public. I wanted to go check his profile to see who he was, because when I saw that comment, I responded and said, what did I say? I said, it's crazy how people talk like this on the internet, These are the kind of guys I would love to bump into in real life. He took that as a threat because he's simple-minded. He thinks everything is violence. It's not a threat. It was the fact that I know that if I called him out in real life, he would get right back to the, I treat every black person with respect until they disrespect me, and then I disrespect their whole life, their blackness and everything. But I can't walk around and like treating every black person that I see like I'm willing to die fighting you right now because you black and I fucking hate all y'all. Really, you don't live your life like that, and I know it because on your page you are a tattoo artist and you had done a lot of dope ass work. Your work is actually kind of dope. I'm not gonna front what I'm a lie and try and act like you trash because I don't like you. Your tattoo work is actually fucking awesome, dude. You do a good job. I would let you tattoo me. Well, not after I saw who you was, I wouldn't. But you're a tattoo artist with some skills, bro. You're not a bum about that. You good. And I saw a lot of dope ass work on a lot of black guys. And even in some of the posts, you got some rap music playing in the background, kind of turning it up a little bit. You was hyping me up, and I was like, man, I ain't got a tattoo in a while, man. I fucking like, but I gotta get back to dissing this dude because he's really racist. But you just had me in your vibe for a minute when I checked your page out. But the problem is, you got all these black guys that you tattoo and that you put this rap music on the IG, trying to garner, you know, some attention to your craft or whatever. But you on IG making these kind of comments, and I thought that was crazy. When I called you out on that in the comments, you would have made your page private so nobody else could see what it was that I was talking about. But that's what it was that I was talking about when I said I would love to bump into you. Because I think you would reveal yourself to be an internet talking pussy who really don't want that kind of smoke like that with a stranger, with nobody really, because you got better shit to do with your life. You know that, bro. You got better shit to do with your life. You married, I don't know if you got no kids or not, but you definitely married. Your wife don't want you getting into shit like this, bro. I think that she would want you to be like, how about you not make enemies, bro? We got a life to live. We got shit to do. Your wife will probably want you to kind of stay out of that kind of shit. You should listen to your wife, bro, because all of this is like very unnecessary where this all goes. And you was so extremely hell-bent on like being tough and violent that you sounded way crazy to me in this little comment exchange that me and you had, bro. You a lame, bro. You are a savage and you're a danger to society. Apparently you had some military service. I don't know if you got PTSD or what, but none of that shit really scares me because a 9mm lay anybody fucking flat with the fucking horizon, bro. Anybody lay down with a 9mm. So none of that really scares me. I ain't really scared of nobody. I ain't even scared of my own fucking death, bro. There's nothing you can say to me that's going to get like a back off kind of a reaction to me. You got to give me some logic, bro. That's how you move me, with some logic, right? So you hid your profile so that no one else could see what it was that I had pointed out. You're a coward. Right? That's what I was proving, bro. That's what I was proving. That's what I was trying to prove when I said that if I bumped into a guy like you, I would love that because it's going to prove something. Without me having to get violent, I can prove my point. You wouldn't keep that same energy with me and any other black person in the vicinity and call us all to a fight to the death with you, because you will kill all these fucking niggas where the trees at. Bro, you was talking mad crazy. Like, the image actually of the whole tree era and all that other shit is so crazy that if you can revel in that, as if that's something to be proud of, that you would bring back because a high school kid's fucking fight in the bathroom incited these feelings inside of you. You are the savage that just deserves to be put down because society will make no good with you in its presence. There will be nothing good to come out of a person who feels and acts the way you do. If you want me to take you serious about all the internet tough shit you saying, if you want me to take that seriously, I know I'm the better man than you. Because I would never act like that to you, even being racist. Halfway closet, racist, prejudice, whatever, because you know when you can get along with a nigga when a nigga not a threat to you. When you cool with a nigga and he ain't a threat to you, you say, not all black people deserve to be attacked because you cool with some black people. So now I know that you don't mean that racist shit. You don't mean the tree shit. You wouldn't say it to them. You couldn't tag them to your fucking, to the comment section to have your black friends confirm that they rock with all the shit you were saying. Everybody in here, what's up, man? Rick James, of course. One Infinite Consciousness. I love your handle. Sam Fisher, what up? I just been rambling and going. I ain't even been checking none of the comments. None. I'm at a stoplight. Let me see if I can. For real, I'll be quick to call another white person trash when I. Yeah, I mean, cause listen, what some white people don't like about niggas when they doing nigga shit, niggas don't like that nigga shit neither. You think I'm okay with him shooting at somebody who shot at his brother, but they broad daylight, and I'm trying to put my kids in the car, and these niggas start shooting a half a block away? Bro, what about that makes me feel good about where I'm at and who's doing this and why, and that I'm just perfectly fine? We don't like it either. Y'all gotta chill. Y'all say don't try that shit in a small town. We say try that shit on this block. Listen, a lot of what it is that you see when you see this quote-unquote black on black shit is somebody is being defensive. Somebody's acting in pure righteous self-defense. Do y'all not know that when y'all see a shootout that somebody got a right to be shooting back? You would. Fucking white boys carry EDC every day, and y'all ain't got no beef. And y'all can even agree at all that it seems like black guys get into violent encounters more so than other people. Let's just be statistically real. That's true, right? Don't be mad when you see a nigga with a gun. And then expect for somebody to be on the other end of this, shooting back, and you cheer for the one shooting back. All of this racial shit is proving to me that people can't even be honest about what it is that they looking at. More or less be honest and deep and thorough and philosophical and logical enough about the great consciousness of life to know that everything that we get involved in society is some kind of illusionary fucking game that wouldn't have to be this way. Somebody made it this way, and because they made it this way in this false way, right? It could have been anything. We should get back to wherever it would be if things were peaceful, if everything was fine. What would we be doing if there was no conflict about the racial thing? That's what we should be doing then. It's the most important thing. If slavery wasn't slavery, but it was like a business arrangement where they showed up to the shores, which I'm not even sure they really even did that. I think we might be indigenous. I think this is our shit. I don't think we needed them to come get us. I don't think it makes any sense that they would smoke millions of people here when slavery usually goes, y'all invade and then enslave the people where you find them. That's the easiest, most economical, sensible thing to do. But this time y'all smoked everybody here and then went someplace to take this trip, the same trip that the hurricanes take the path on. Bro, the labor that it took y'all to build the ships to do this was just like, why didn't you just work for yourself? Like, none of it makes sense to me. I don't fucking know. I don't know. But if slavery was like a business deal where y'all showed up and say, hey man, we want to use resources and teamwork as a global community to get these things done, and we travel the world to help build this global society on peace, love, and cooperation. And that's what we came here for. We're going to share the wealth. No man above another fucking man. We're going to slice this pie up evenly. Everybody gets a fair fucking shake. We just want to profit from this and watch the world evolve into a future that nobody saw coming. Let's do this for humanity, right? Let's do this for humanity. Let's go. If that's what slavery was, and there was no force, no violence, all cooperation, sharing of the wealth and everything, what would black and white people have to be fighting against each other for? It's a set of circumstances, not a skin tone. The skin tone in and of itself will not make us mortal enemies, no matter what happens, just because contrasting skin colors. Like, no, you motherfuckers, something happened. The thing that happened didn't have to happen, and if it never happened, whatever we would have been doing is what we should be trying to get to. And that sounds like the togetherness that everybody kind of deep down knows we should be doing, because it's way more peaceful and productive than the war shit over nothing. And even then, especially when you really know, with the great consciousness, all of this shit is an illusion. None of it matters anyway. And even on a surface level, once you accept the consciousness and your presence here as some kind of an experience for you to learn something about, once you even take it that earthly, which is still way deeper than the average person will ever even go, but just take it there, right? That there's a conscious experience that we're supposed to be having, and we are here. So let's do something here while we're here. Let's do something about it. Even then, you would have to know that it just seems way better to ask and maybe even beg for this kind of that level of cooperation to build a world than to do it through enslaving people with all the death and the destruction, all this other crazy ass shit. And what's wild is that when this guy on IG put that image in my head, when he said something about the trees, he know that he is implanting an image in someone's mind. As soon as he did that, I'm thinking, hey, I love the idea of free speech, right? But if you get to say what you want, I get to have whatever reaction I want to have about what it is that you said, short of physically harming you. I can't physically harm you over something that you said. That's immoral. You cannot do that. Because if you can and you try to justify it, then you have to stick with the justification. Then you have to know that whoever is better at violence will get to shut all of the other people up, even if the really, really violent people are the wrong people. You will root for that to become the world that you're in. And that's exactly what happened, because we get what the fuck we deserve. We get what we asked for. Y'all wanted that level of control, and now you got government telling you that a God-given right has now become amendable, and you should sit back and play fair with the amendment process to see if we're going to amend a God-given right. It sounds fucking retarded. Don't ever expect for me to respect that. If you want me to respect it anyway, you're crazy. If you support the Constitution, after you heard me say that, I think you're crazy. I think you're stuck in your cognitive dissonance. It's going to be impossible to talk to you. You're going to have to fucking figure it out on your own due time. You'll figure it out. But until then, I don't know. I don't know where else to go with me and you. If you support the Constitution, I don't know where else we need to go. You can hang around and rock out with me if you want to, but I think there's a disconnect between us if you think that the Constitution is something that I should praise, that I should lean on, that I should try to protect. I don't need to protect nothing but my life, right? And I get to do that in defense with whatever I get my hands on, and that's all I care about. All that other stuff, man, I think y'all are playing a silly game. You make yourself susceptible to the head game, right? The legalese, the entire process being put forth by who? The rule makers, who have become the rule makers by first being very good at violence. In the acceptance of my own death, I've also accepted like the role in violence in some things. That's why I've accepted that if I think that I'm morally right, and I know that I am, it's not that I think, I know that I am. I don't think there's any more of a honorable position to take in fairness in the human lives that we are talking about. But for me to say, I own myself, I do not own anybody else, not even my kids. They are my responsibility, but they are not my property, right? I cannot own another person. Anybody making the attempt to own me or force me into any way, shape, or form, any kind of a contract or servitude to them, I get to tell them no. If they move on me with violence, and I get to use violence to stop them, period. That's so fucking fair that I don't think that you can plug that into a law society and then at the same time tell them they have a right to violate everything that I just said, because they can be the first fucking moving agents into something that becomes violence that they want to have overwhelming violence about, so that they can always win, so that you never really win. And then they tell you what you can say, what you can do, and what you can't do, what you can own and cannot own. This is insane to me. Y'all are weird. Y'all are weird, man. It's crazy to me. Humanity is under like a hypnosis, bro. Because as soon as I ask somebody if they own themselves, that should set your life on a course. It's one question, bro. Do you own yourself or not? If you answer it seriously, it's going to send your life out on a fucking... You'll never come back from that simple question. All you got to do is just be honest. And then mean it. Take it as serious as you want me to take your life. You don't want me to hurt you to take your shit. You want me to respect your shit. Not to disrespect you, not to harm you, take shit from you. You want me to respect your life. Respect your own fucking life first, right? By answering the question, do you own yourself? Yes or no, now live whatever you find out. Whatever you find when you go there, live that shit. Or I'm gonna call you a pussy and say you don't even mean that shit. Don't put you damn sure better not fucking talk to me or act tough to me about nothing at that point. Anybody who can't stand on that shit. A bunch of fucking fake ass, tough ass pussies out here, bro. You'll never be above another man because of the color of your skin. It's gonna take your morals. It's gonna take what it is that you do. Right? And then you just play the role. Because along with accepting my death, I've accepted the fact that the world not gonna be I mean, the world might be a better place because of me or something that I do or say. But if not, I'm still gonna be me anyway. It's not gonna stop what it is that I'm doing and thinking and acting. You know, who I am. When I play my role, right? I'm still just gonna be me. I don't care if it works or not. It'd be nice if some of it worked, but if not, then I don't care. I'm not gonna notice. I'm not gonna be here to notice that it doesn't work. I'll be dead one day, and then I'll know, oh damn, look at that, I end up dying and it never worked. And at that point, I'm not gonna care, right? I'll be off in the astral world about, you know, with the internal consciousness. seeing all outcomes of all fucking choices play out all at once, right? Instead of being locked into this perspective that we're in right now in this fucking meat suit. If you recognize the fabric of reality and you study and examine life on that level, you'll realize that playing racial games and people put on costumes and say, I'm a police officer, you'll look at that as the play shit that it really is. It'll make that shit feel silly to you when you look at it. You go, y'all scared, and then y'all start being racist, and then y'all scared and y'all start being constant. What's crazy is that racist, like this racist motherfucker that was all over IG, he's got this certain perspective about black people, and I'm pretty sure he probably backs the blue and he likes the whole fucking cop thing too. But then he'd be the first one to say that if black people say that a cop is overdoing his job just because the person is black, this same racist dude or people like him will say, your black ass needs to stop committing crimes. He's not overdoing shit. This whole time, he's the kind of person that got so excited about a high school fight that he started that you less than human and you gonna get treated like that. Period. Like, it's a less than human, dehumanizing kind of a thing that he wanted to point to. It's a very dark comment that he said. It was a very tough, rough comment that he said. When he got black friends and tattooing all these black people, I know that he's only acting tough on the internet when he don't want to act like that in real life, because even if he kind of feels like that inside, and he might kind of feel like that, he don't think that that's productive for his life to fucking act like that he should use character to judge people first. Totally defeated his racist bullshit on the internet. You defeated your own shit. That's what I meant by bumping into you. I would expose you for doing that you don't really mean none of that shit, bro. So stop saying it out here, or live it out here. One way or the other. Stop saying it on the internet and live it out here for real, man. Can you do one or the other? That would be a real man thing to do. Well, then admit that you less of a man then. That I've caught you in this in between, right? You in a quagmire, you can't get your shit straight, just go, bro, you got me, bro. A lot of internet shit, bro. I don't mind black folks when I'm cool with y'all, man. The ones that I'm cool with, I respect and all that, bro. And I would hate to see this man's and his family being hurt by another white man that ain't me, that haven't made black friends. I would hate for one of those guys to hurt you and your kids, man, just because you black. Wouldn't that make you sad, white guy? Internet racist white guy? The guys that you said you got black friends of, what if some of his family was attacked by some other white guys just because they were black? Wouldn't you go, man, that's fucked up? They did what to your child? You would say that was fucked up. You be like, man, y'all don't deserve that, man. They got to pick and choose and say that for the bad people. That's what you would say, right? Because just like you cut some of these black guys some slack and you befriend them and you go, hey, man, I don't got to act like that to you, bro. You know you don't have to. And just like you do that, I bet you I can find you a white boy who might also feel the way you do, who you think is a bad person about other stuff, who you would want to hurt him. Even though y'all share this racist fucking view towards black people. I bet you I can find you a white guy you would want to hurt. Him being racist with you wouldn't even save him from you. If he's a bad person and other shit that you can't rock with. Look how we're using character above other things to determine whether somebody really deserves smoke from you or not. We all do this shit. That racial shit is a reaction out of your fear and insecurities, bro. You don't like black people because you are jealous about something, insecure about something. Because all the bad shit that you see black people do, you wouldn't fucking honor that shit if a white guy did it. It's the action that it is that you got a problem with. So just say that part. Y'all crazy, bruh. Niggas is crazy. Motherfuckers is wild, man. Inconsistent, intellectually dishonest, and stupid, and retarded, and pussy, and all type of shit y'all is, man. You all of that, bro. You all of that shit. Fucking asshole. I told myself I wasn't even gonna yell on this live stream. I be trying to control myself, bro. Sometimes I feel like I got this problem where I feel like I'm misunderstood. So when I'm trying to be understood and I feel like y'all not feeling me, I'm like, well, if I yell, you gonna feel me. if I speak a little louder, you gonna know I'm not playing. That's what I mean by that shit. I want y'all to know I'm sincere with this shit. Racist people are beneath me. I see black racist people too. And they don't even be racist because they know they get around some white people. They can even think of white people that have crossed their paths in life and they'll be like, I would hate to see that white person hurt just because they white by a black person just because they black. Like, you would be like, don't fight that one. I like that one. That's what you would be like. And you know what you're doing? You putting character over racial judgment. Because you know better. You know that shit not going to work to just be blanket racist to nobody. Come on, man. That shit ain't going to work. You're going to exert a whole lot of energy towards people that might have been trying to love you, man. Y'all know that shit don't make no sense. Shut the fucking fuck up. That racist guy on IG, the tattoo artist, he know that shit don't make no sense. He has made money and created some level of a friendship or cordial interaction with black people that you tattoo, bro. You know, you listen to the music and you can hear the warrior spirit inside of this music and you go, right or wrong, motherfucker. This is like watching a samurai movie from the fucking 50s, nigga. Black and white samurai movie from the 50s, nigga. You respect the warrior when you see one. You ain't got to understand the culture or even agree with it. You just know, bro. That's why you can stand some of the music, even if it's to fucking pair with your little IG advertisement of your craft, bro. You know that there's something about that draws people. I listen to rap music, and I don't listen to it because I think that living that life is fun and productive and should be copied. No. I listen to the rap music because I can see myself in it. I can definitely see my youth in it. I can see value in the warrior spirit behind it, just like I do when I watch a samurai movie or a cowboy movie. I ain't no cowboy. I don't know what that life is like, but when you see a badass cowboy, you go, look at him. No shit from no fucking body. There's something about that where you go, man, salute to you, bro. I hate being on your bad side. I know we all animals out here, bro. We man, bro. We do shit, bro. We beat our chest and fucking pound concrete, bro. We do shit, bro. A grown man can be a dangerous fucking thing, man. You respect it when you see it. You don't care where that shit come from, for real. We all do that, bro. It's okay to reflect with something outside of your own culture, bro. Because what you really gonna find is a uniformity in our humanity, bro. You're gonna find something. Internet racist white guy, IG tattoo guy. I bet you, in a blind conversation where we could not see each other's profile pictures and we had conversations about firearms, how government can't really be trusted a whole lot, and how they lie to military soldiers to take advantage of their bravery and shit, and then they treat them like shit when they get back here, and I think that's fucking fucked up. Women are crazy. Raising kids in a world like this is crazy. We could talk about women, kids, and all this other stuff, bro, and I think we would have got along without knowing if each other were black or white, and we just had to try to engage another man in a blindfolded conversation about the things that matter to you most. I think me and you would have found a lot of common ground. You would have been like, man, this motherfucker sounds a lot like me, bro. I think we got some common things in common. And then you would have seen that I was a black guy. That would have made you feel some type of way. You got a mental problem, bro. Because I bet some of the bigger things that you are willing to walk that walk in life about, your wife, how you feel about her. I don't know if you got kids or not, but if you do got kids, how you feel about your kids. I bet you those things, me and you will go, man, I'm a grown-ass man, and these are the things I care about. I think we'll sound the same, bro. I wouldn't feel like you was asking too much or doing too much about what you were saying about none of that shit. Your wife or your kids, if you got them, or none of that. I would say that's a grown man talking. Let him talk his shit. Oh, I bet he means that shit, because I know I mean it. I can only imagine other men mean they shit when they say that shit. He's a grown-ass man. Oh, I bet you he could be dangerous if you make him. I respect you in all of these ways, bro. And we got on that racist shit, then you act like it's okay for you to let a high school fight in a fucking in a bathroom incite you to taunt an entire internet full of black people and other white people who might be offended and horrified by what you were saying. You didn't give a fuck who you offended. You're okay to do all of that, totally discounting and misplacing so that we can't even get back to the humanity that we would share if we talked about women, kids, cars, government corruption, and all this other shit, bro. I could think of 1,000 topics that we would have linked like this about. Because I'm pretty sure you do that when you get around black folks that you tattoo and shit, and then you go, I don't hate him, I don't hate that one. You start judging character. You say, don't fight that one and his children to the death of them all because they're black. You would not like that to happen to them. You don't hate all black people. Why did you say that hateful tree shit, though? That's crazy, man. Get your shit together, man. You emotional as fuck. A high school fight did that to you? Bro, you dangerous, man. You're not the better man than me. You are a fucking psycho, bro. I don't even know if I would even trust you with a firearm, even though I know I can't tell you not to have one. I don't think the government can either. You might be suffering from PTSD if you have taken any kind of prescription medication to help with depression or anxiety. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. Just don't judge me. I'm a square-minded guy. 4 corners, all my shit intact, nigga. I ain't never drank a day in my life. I've never been so depressed that I thought about suicide, not even once. I never off myself or nobody that I love. Are you crazy? Are you insane? When people get like that, they are something wrong. You can't get like that and be okay. The two things don't even sound right together. Once you have a suicidal thought or you're willing to hurt people that you love to lash out at your frustrations in the world, you have gone wrong somewhere. The most frustrated I get with the world is wanting to bring more of the world to my family so they can be comfortable and free to do and think and feel however they want to think and feel, to be free from employment control. That's what I would love for my girl. I want my kids to say, oh, we read this book about China. Then I want to be able to say, oh, well, we're going to China. We're going to visit Beijing or wherever the fuck. We're going to find some nice touristy Chinese place to go, and we're going to see it with our own eyes. I want to be able to snap my fingers and do that. Right? Shit like that. That's all I want out of the world. I don't want nobody else to be hurt for me to get that. I don't think I got to hurt nobody else to get that. Shouldn't have to. Why would I want to? Anybody who takes the angle that they would hurt people to get to these kind of things, hey, you have lost your way somewhere. You're a psycho. You're not cool. I don't got to like you, respect you, and keep you safe from none of that shit. You disqualified from all that shit. Cross paths with me meaning any fucking harm, then into the fucking dirt you will go. Now or later, you're going to go anyway. Give a fucking fuck. I don't give a fuck about your ass dying. I don't give a fuck about me dying. I don't give a fuck. That's what the problem is. People think that they can bank on people giving a fuck to keep them safe. Motherfuckers could have been fucking, there's people that crossed my path in my life on that bullshit that could have been fucking laid in the dirt a long time ago. Thank my daughter for me not smoking some of you motherfuckers. Right? Because for her, I gotta be like, why the fuck would I do all that? That's crazy. That'd be retarded. Then I start putting things in perspective. Right? But under the right fucking circumstances, boy, I'm gonna die anyway. She'll be all right. Her mama take care of her. I got all these videos and pictures of me and shit. She'll never forgive me. She'll be okay if I gotta go for some fucking dumb shit. Right? You know, people underestimate, like, what people are in their life and how they feel and what they think. This guy says he's got, apparently got some military service. Talking about, you better ask about me. I wouldn't give a fuck if you got military service and you got bodies and you got official bodies. None of that matters. What did something you did over there have to do with anything over here? It's got nothing to do with me or none of that shit. If I tap you on the shoulder with the butt of a fucking gun, Desert Storm, Afghanistan, wherever the fuck you went, what the fuck would that matter if I on your shoulder with the butt of a 9mm, bro? Anybody can get got. You can't talk to me like that and think that that's gonna make me, you're just gonna make me fucking bug up on you. That shit excites me when you talk like that. Then I go, okay, I'll put that in perspective. One of us is gonna learn a life lesson, maybe how far you wanna go with this, because that doesn't scare me or make me back down. I know you bleed like everybody else. None of that will matter. A 15-year-old kid with a switch will fuck you up. Desert Storm. He don't got to be trained in nothing. You can't be caught lacking or you go down like everybody else. What is this with this illusion that people got? I don't ever talk tough about some shit that I ain't gonna never back up. I say anything I say on the internet, I say that shit to your face, bro. Because I know I'm not making a threat or meaning no harm. I am making honest observations about life. You expressing some kind of military service to me does not mean that you can't be fucking smoked by me or somebody else. When I know that a 15-year-old that run up on your blind side with a switch, will light you up. Game over. 21 gun salute. Fuck you. Folded flag to your mama house. 15 years old, he'll smoke you. Huh. If you're so delusional in this illusion of a grandeur or authority over me because of this, bro, you are dangerous to yourself. You should fucking know better than that, military-minded man. You know you can get got that it's got nothing to do with your abilities or the gun you got or nothing. You have a fucking $2,500 staccato on your side. Bro, if somebody high point the fuck out the back of your fucking head when you're not looking, that's his staccato now. Are you crazy? You don't know that? You got to be real with the world and then play your role. I play my role knowing that I could die at any time, accidentally. All I can do is make sure that I never deserve someone intentionally harming me to my death. I don't even deserve that because I ain't did nothing to nobody. So in regards to all that, then I know that if I got to bring that smoke to somebody, I don't even deserve it. Who the fuck is this? I am going to go all out. I know that I'm morally in the right anyway because I don't deserve nothing from nobody. And then I make sure I keep it that way. Me saying I would bump up, I would love to bump up, bump into you or a guy like you in public because I know you're not going to keep that energy, bro. No, you're not. You're not going to tag me on site. Not even for none that I said on the internet. You're going to want to talk first. Nobody would do that, bro. You way more disciplined than that. And if you're not, then you're just as bad as these young black kids that you probably talk a whole lot of tree shit about. You sound like them. Do you not know that? You know what happens when people feel like they are being presented with violence? They either cower or they arm themselves and then they get a little taste of the violence themselves. Half of these fucking shootouts you seeing all over the fucking internet, these black people shooting at each other, somebody acting in self-defense and somebody's doing something that you would rather the cops do, and that is address the killer who is getting away with a murder. And since we don't have handcuffs or a jail cell to take them to, people go right to the same angle that the cops might hide 2 or 3 steps into their process. But cops also say, we'll address you by the murder and you don't want to fucking go quietly. Your ass gonna die right here. It'll be a shootout right here. We don't give a fuck who around or nothing. The cops sound just like the niggas, except for the cop got a little procedure first, outlined in their fucking magical paperwork, that they try not to kill you first. I hardly see a difference between them. I think human beings just gonna be human beings. And I think in a moral position, the victim's family has a right to be emotionally driven to want blood themselves. And that's what nature says. I don't give a fuck what society says or what's going to go down, what's going to happen. I don't care about that part. I know what's going to happen. Law and order, and y'all going to do this shit a certain way and blah, blah, blah. I know that's how it's going to be. I'm just not mad at the nature that tells the guy that lost his brother 2 weeks ago in the middle of Chicago to a fucking shooting. I'm not mad at him for taking the gun for his own protection so it don't happen to him, and then him being willing to do something on site to the people that might have killed his brother. I don't even think that's wrong, man. I think it's just crazy how it plays out. It's kind of chaotic. It's kind of crazy. Just because I can understand it don't mean I agree with it, that I like it. I don't like it. I wish none of it was happening, but I'm not going to act like I don't know what the fuck he was thinking. I know what he was thinking. EDC, just like your white ass, and you ain't even got no beef. You ain't got no problems in the street. Your brother didn't get killed by some gangbangers last week. His did. What would you do if you was him? You already EDCing. Come on, man. Y'all not even that different from these kids, man. Y'all really not even that different, man. Go down a checklist of what these kids are doing and thinking, and then compare it to how you live your life. I wouldn't expect no man to watch his brother get killed or know his brother got killed and then him have no emotional desire whatsoever to protect himself so it wouldn't happen to him, and then to possibly be inspired to do something to the killers if he saw them. I don't know what's wrong with y'all, bro. I think the world just kind of crazy and it scares you, so then you just go, make them stop with your scary ass. I don't know how to make it stop, but I'm not going to pretend like I don't understand, man. It's just hard not to understand what happened. I know what they're thinking. And what's even crazier, when people say that this is like, when they make it a racial thing, I saw myself this close to a lifestyle like that. And I realized that a change in my environment, our perspective, is what kept me from being like that, period. And that's all it was. It had nothing to do with my race. It had nothing to do with that. I could just hang on enough to take advantage of a change in my environment when I went off to college, to allow that environment to completely dominate my perspective and my desires and my plans in my life. And it kept me from using that time with my idle hands to get deeper and deeper to the street shit. Because then as soon as something happened, it's very easy to say, that was my brother that died. My life is still in danger. I know what the fuck this is about to look like. Shicey mask and a Glock 19, man. That's what that shit look like, man. Y'all crazy if y'all can go, I get it. I get it. I'm not asking you to live like that. I'm not asking you to agree with it. Don't high five the drive-by shooter. That's not what I'm saying. But look at them and say, what a tragedy that your life has inspired you to act like this. Because you know deep down, you can't think of a cop that'll watch another cop get killed and then not chase the fucking killer and go, we going to this motherfucker dead. You got to kill me to stop him. That's what the cop will say about another cop. Or another person that he don't even know. A cop will say that about any innocent life. To say that this boy's brother better not respond like that or else he belongs in the cell. I think you asking too much of nature, bro. Y'all got unreasonable expectations about how nature is and what to expect and shit. And it's crazy, man. It's a psychosis is what I mean. Like, for real, it is a psychosis. All I mean to say it's crazy to just sound like, oh, people keep saying weird, people crazy, people just throwing around words. I mean a literal psychosis. For y'all to have any expectation that the family can be the ones suffering the loss and the emotional distress, and they better not fucking do anything about nothing either. Unreasonable expectation with y'all stupid ass. It don't even sound right. And black or white, maybe your child is a button. Maybe it had to be your own child for you to understand. But that was somebody's child. You don't get to choose how people get to fucking respond to a death or a murder or something. Even if you gotta imagine it being your own fucking child for you to understand. Yeah, if you're a father, then you goddamn fucking know. You're not gonna think, let me call the authorities right now if you see somebody kill your child. What if you saw it? Or you halfway saw it and this motherfucker's getting away. And there's a gun right there and car keys. Are you gonna do that? And do that? Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. Shut up. And I don't blame you. I think if you lose yourself in that moment right there, I can say it's a tragedy, but I can't say that you should be blamed. I think nature should let you. I think nature wants to just let you go. I think the Law Society should let you go. There's something about that, man, that I think, man, okay. And then you know what's crazy? That regardless of how me and the law might differ about that, you know what actually happens sometimes? People don't care what the law says, and then they go and then the nature happens. And then the nature just happens, and I go, see, told you. The magical paper don't stop it. It only give y'all an angle that y'all can try to stop it or try to be reactive to it, because y'all are mostly reactive. If somebody fucking shot at me right now, the cops are reactive. I'm already here. I'll shoot back. The cops, I never expected for the cops to be here to keep them from firing the second shot. And it only take one to do it. Listen, I should probably protect myself. That's all. That's all, man. It's easy. And if I'm being defensive, nobody gets to tell me which gun I can use. I use whatever I want. Whatever I think is effective. Whatever I think is giving me the best chance. Because I only got one shot. And if somebody's shooting me, I got one shot to fucking get up out of there. About it. I got this one try. Give me the best chance I got. Maybe I like an AR-15. Maybe I like an AR-15 pistol, an AK pistol. Maybe I like that. Maybe I carry it everywhere. Maybe because I feel like I recognize the surprise in an event like that, that nobody woke up that morning knowing that they were going to be shot to death. Nobody knows that. You know it when it's happening. You might not even know it then. You catch a headshot, boy, you are off into the Chikai Bardo, motherfucker. You are lost in it. You are gone. Another phase in your fucking consciousness. That's where you are, because it's too late, right? I don't want to go to the Chikai Bardo yet. I'm trying to gather myself. Blob says he's a racist. He or she is a racist. I know damn well that if I use something like race to determine whether my kids were safe or not, I would end up getting my kids hurt. That ain't gonna work. That's not a good barometer. That's not gonna tell me enough. I can't say to myself that my kids are with black people, they'll be fine. But if you put them with some white people, all I can see is slavery. And I don't think my kids will be safe with it. Let's take them with these black folks. Like black folks don't diddle or abuse kids. Some of them do. It's a people thing. I can't think of no race of people that say, hey man, for somehow we missed the pedo gene. None of the people in this race, we don't do that pedo shit. All you motherfuckers do it because it's not a race thing. I couldn't use race to determine whether my kids are safe or not. I better judge character, or else I won't effectively keep my kids safe, bro. It's not a method that's going to work for me. That's why I know it's not going to work anywhere. It's just a bad idea. You make all the cops black, that'll scare the fuck out of me. I would think you was really on some bullshit, because I know they just going to act like the paper tells them to act. The magical paper, right? All the laws and signatures and shit. That's what's gonna make them act like something, right? So making them black ain't gonna change that. No, I'm not gonna trust them at all. It's not gonna make it better for me. So when y'all say white cop, but man, get the fuck. It's a cop thing, bro. You better tell that fucking law society to chill the fuck out, bro. That's what you need to do. You want to curb racist passes. You gotta tell this law society that can't be a place where racists can hide. Tell racists they gotta at least be bold enough to fucking be willing to die for their shit. They can't be hide behind no badge. That's crazy. That's spooky, bro. That shit should not happen. That's what gets weird to me. Tell a racist, man, live that shit out here. Let's see if it gets you killed. How far you gonna go with that shit? You know you can't hide, right? You know you're just a man. You're just a racist dude, bro. You cross paths with the wrong people, then we see what happens. But I'm approaching a corner right now that I did a protest on. It's not a protest. I was just doing an open carry demo with a specific message that day. Open carry demonstration, AR-15, multiple 30-round magazines. Fuck you, California. That's standard. That's not high capacity. Shut y'all bitch asses up, California. I got multiple 30-round magazines, 4 of them to be exact. 1 in my firearm and 3 in my mag pouches. On my carrier, level 4 plate carrier, Glock on my side, 2 extra magazines for the Glock. 1 of them is an extendo, 30 plus rounds in that bitch. Fuck is you talking about? I only carry 30. I don't try to force it because I don't want to risk a jam. Sometimes you overpack an extended mag because you're thinking that you can do all that, and really that should be rated, real talk rated, for 1 or 2 rounds less than that. Then y'all go, extended mags don't, but they're not reliable, they jam. Stop packing the motherfucker, man. Stop packing it to the 32 or 33, whatever you think is supposed to go in there. You're doing too much. And that is the problem with some of their mags. But I just passed that corner. I'm out there with all that, right? And my sign for the day, it usually says hug an AR owner. And then I solicit hugs from the public while I'm armed as fucking talking shit about government corruption and social bullshit, right? To prove that me talking like that and being armed like that don't mean that I'm not out here for the people. I'm out here soliciting hugs. I ain't gonna hurt nobody. That don't mean I can't say fuck Biden. Yes, I can. And then I say fuck Trump too. I wish the 2 of these motherfuckers fucking had a fucking shootout with each other and smoked both of them and smoked each other so that neither one of them won. And then I hope COVID would have fucking swept through DC and got all. I don't rock with nobody. I don't trust no political figure. I could trust a white, freedom-loving gun owner that understands what I'm doing in my activism and respects me and shares a brotherhood with me in the firearm ownership and the struggle for the real freedom. If you white, I love you, and if that's who you are. I would trust you over a black cop. Fuck that nigga. Because I know what he on. Whatever the papers tell him, he left himself at home, right? And if they change on the magical paper about my fucking AR-15, that same black cop will go, man, the law is the law, right? Now he my enemy and the white boy cheering me on to stand up for the freedom that we found a brotherhood in. I put all that shit above that racial shit, right? Because if I was judging by race, I wouldn't even be aligning myself with the proper energy, with who I am for real as an individual. I can't use race to guide that. It's a bad idea, right? I'm standing on the corner with the sign. The special sign for that day said, you can't fight somebody over words. You know why? Because a young, beautiful black woman lost her life in Cedar Rapids. Like a day or 2 before I got out there to do this open carry demo. I got right out there and did it. It was like the night before or something. Or 2 nights before I got out here and do the open carry demo. Sign says you cannot fight anybody over words, period. The young black girl lost her life, got into a dispute with a neighbor. The neighbor called her a nigger. Hard ER, white guy. She attacked him. They kept from fighting. I think they was fighting the wife too. They had already fought the wife, this white man's wife. They had already put hands on her. And this is a video of it too. She was already putting hands on her, I think. I don't know who swung first, but I think the platinum rule about violence is whoever starts that shit is wrong, period. Whoever get physical first is the one that's wrong. Because you can't fight nobody over words. I can say what the fuck I want. If that inspires a fucking fight, you are soft and crazy. That's wild, right? She crossed this man's threshold in his house. In his apartment, he's standing in the doorway too. He had a knife, right? She didn't know that. She tried to fight him after she heard nigger. He in his threshold. So she approached this man's apartment, fighting in his threshold of his door. Gets stabbed and killed. My black ass got out here with an open carry demo, said you can't fight people over words because it's the truth. Now, the white guy said some racial shit. He intended to inspire a certain reaction out of her when he did that. That might have played a role in the case. It's not like I cannot understand that, but none of that really matters. Just because the case went this way doesn't mean that that's what's morally sound. The law society is not always right, and we know that they're not always right. It's not a stretch of imagination or a fucking conspiracy theory. The law is just not always right, right? He tried to inspire some hurtful shit out of her. Self-defense is never wrong, though. He didn't get physical with her, she got physical with him. And he ended up winning that fight. Not with his bare hands, though, but with a knife. At first, he did not get charged. Of course, the public was in an uproar. I did an open carry demo saying you can't fight nobody over words. I think it's a shame that she got killed. I find that to be fucking sad. I got a hard time accepting that the young woman had to die like that. Breaks my fucking heart because I'm the sensible kind of a person that I don't think that shit should have gone to violence at all. I know it didn't have to. I know it would have been better off if it didn't. And I don't give a fuck who's at fault. I am going to first be sad that it ever happened. I'm going, well, that's a damn shame. When that shit happened, I was like, why, man? Why did you attack him? Because he said, nigga, come on, man. You should have told him to treat you like one to see if he'll break that threshold. To see if he'll cross that line. Where now you're in the right to defend yourself against a racist. Because he used racial motivations to get physical first. When everybody has a right to say what they gonna say, air your grievances. Right? I wish that that's what she would have said. Because that's what I would have said. Treat me like one. That's what I told the racist white boy on the internet. If I bumped into you, bro, it wouldn't be to fight you. I would want to call your bluff on everything that you had going on the internet, bro. And I would hurt you. In defense, if you force me to go there, I want to see how real you are. Just admit that you're not real enough to fight with me over what I said over the internet. No, you're not. You're not going to fight me on site. No, you're not. No, you're not, bro. Because if you are, you're more of a savage than the black kids that you taught. I think you are a bitch. If you were to fight me on site, I know you're a bitch. Because you could have kept that energy with the 100 black folks you see every fucking day when you see them in public that you walk by. You could do that with a black guy that actually did something to you and you won't do that. You would do it with me over the internet shit, you're a bitch. And I don't even think you that much of a pussy, bro. You just felt comfortable to just fly off the handle on the internet because it's the internet and it's safe, bro. You know what else is crazy? I know somebody that knows this guy. He don't even live that far from me. I already looked into it, 2.5 hours from me. 2.5 hours. That's nothing, right? I told him if I bumped into him, he's not gonna stand on none of that shit. He's gonna back down. Not because he's a bitch, but it's not because of that. But because even though I think he's a bitch, that's not what's gonna make him back down. Because I'm not saying he's a bitch like he's scared of physical confrontation with me. No, the fuck he's not. But he is a bitch because he's acting tough. And then when in reality, he's more of a chill, sensible guy than what he's putting on the internet. Because he could act like that with 100 black folks he sees every day and he don't. Because he puts character judgment above that shit he was talking on the internet. Pure cowardice. Yeah, Rick James. Yeah, man, I don't know. People are just soft, man, for real. I think everybody's like overly emotional and that they are way more emotional than they are intelligent. And if you put the intelligence above the emotions, you will save the energy that, hold on, let me check this out. Okay, battery's getting kind of low. with some intelligence, you will reserve your life's energy in a fight for your life for something that made way more sense than, how about I lash out and ask for physical confrontation, wish for, imagine, and cheer on violence onto innocent people just because they black? No, you'd have to be, if you're not smart enough to not do that, then you're not intelligent at all. Because it don't even take that much intelligence to exercise that shit like that. It just doesn't. It's a real simple concept. Once you accept that, first of all, black people we're just going to be a thing, right? Once you accept that, then you can say, well, I can choose to not indulge. That's the freedom of life, and that's good. Choose to not indulge, and everybody has to be okay with that. Just because I think you're crazy doesn't mean that I think that I can make you like black folks. I don't give a fuck if you like black people or not. There's going to be people out there that don't like black people, and I'll never even know that they even exist, and thus I can deal with that. I didn't know you existed until yesterday or the day before, whenever that was, when we started this initial interaction. I can easily move on like you don't exist. Won't bother me at all. I'm never going to solve racism with my blackness. I don't really care to. All I can say is, if it crosses my path with intent to do harm, then I will stand up to it. And I'm intellectually honest enough to realize that standing up to a racist, they might make a physical confrontation part of my real fucking life, internet inspired or not. If it ever happened that I had to have a physical confrontation with a racist, your racism might be your reason for approaching me in that way, but it won't necessarily even need to be the reason why I stop you in your tracks with a mag dump, because no matter what the reason is, your intentions are the only thing I care about. If your intentions are to hurt me, then your response is going to be, the response that I give you is going to be the same. So whether you want to rob me, whether you're a black man that could not be attacking me, also just because I was black, don't make no sense. It's about something else, something you think I did to you, mistaken identity, or something you want to do to me or take from me or whatever. I don't care what the inspiration is. If the attempt to harm me is what it is that we're dealing with, everybody gets the same mag dump. So I can't especially hate racists. I don't especially hate you no more than a black guy that wants to rob me. I don't hate one of y'all more than the other. None of it matters to me. I just like the idea of being ready, whether I lose the fight or not. I don't care about that part. I'm satisfied with just the readiness, and that's all I can ask for. That's all I got. Then I'll rock with that and rock it proudly. That I arm myself for defensive purposes only, and I can stop the nigga that wants to rob me and take something from me, or the racist. All you motherfuckers get the same bang bang. I don't give a fuck. And then y'all all get the same cold dirt and the worms. It's all the same. It's all the same. Why would I care? Y'all occupy yourself with small-minded things because y'all some small-minded men. My mind is on trying to fucking understand and manipulate the fabric of reality itself, bro. I got no intentions or desires to spin my wheels, to burn any of my energy arguing over the color of my skin to justify it to you or to defend myself from you, or none of that shit. I ain't justifying shit. The fuck out of here. The universe don't give a fuck about nothing but moral individual choices. You make an immoral individual choice, the universe says, fuck you, motherfucker. And it don't give a fuck if you black or white. It don't care. Why would it ever care? It don't make no sense, man. If you elevate your mind, you know goddamn fucking well the fabric of reality can't care about the color of somebody's skin, bro. And on top of all that, if you've seen the fucking universal light, the real light spectrum would invert things where you can see the absorption of color and not the reflection of color. And if you witness the absorption of color, everything dark will actually look like it's glowing. I actually look like I'm glowing with my dark skin. I actually look like I'm glowing. You in a sliver or spectrum of light, and you see my dark skin and go, dark black skin. Darkness is the evil. Boy, I am actually the light, motherfucker. You should calm your ass down, right? You should chill the fuck out. You should elevate your mind onto something else. Damn sure the fuck away from me talking crazy. Because you have some military service. That don't mean you even saw combat. Stop. Who the fuck you think you're talking to? Anyway, what have I done? Where have I been? You don't even know. Right? because it don't matter to you, right? That's why, because where you have been doesn't matter to me either. I got more guns than windows in my house. I can shoot better than any of you motherfuckers would ever think. You'd be surprised, right? I'm not the typical YouTuber. I don't gotta bust my guns on YouTube to prove to y'all nothing. I don't want to even look like the regular gun tuber. I am a gun rights activist that don't even look like other activists. Everybody else keeps saying 2A. They keep saying Second Amendment everywhere. I keep saying fuck the Second Amendment. Do I look like, I sound like, or fit in with any of them? I don't fit in with none of y'all. One of one. I'm not a copy of a copy. I didn't let nobody else think for me. I put all this shit together myself. I put all of this shit together myself. The Constitution is wrong. It's a farce. It's a dragnet to get enough of us to go along with a game that they got rigged so that we don't fight them about that gun shit when they want to take it. They want to see if they can get that shit without having to fight us. Because without a Second Amendment, you would just naturally rely on the nature. They wouldn't have no way to call you into a fucking court to tell you to abide by these other fucking things because things have changed and what it is that makes them comfortable. But why would a potentially tyrannical government have this expectation that they can talk to you about the guns that you would use to fucking keep them from going tyrannical? Why do it make any sense at all that they would have any say in that? I think your founding forefathers set y'all the fuck up and y'all are retarded because y'all don't notice it. Because they told you to think and feel a certain way about that shit and you did. Like some fucking puppet ass goofies, bro. That Constitution fucked y'all up. I got people that rock with my shit that still can't break the spell, not even when I say that the Constitution fucked y'all up. It's a gateway to get them inside your gun safe to pick and choose what you can and cannot use. Please believe they're going to take all of the things that they call weapons of war. They're calling it a weapon of war because they know that you can take them to war about it. It's not a weapon of war for real. IG tattoo military fucking bully racist guy. You know, if you ever hear this shit, you know like I know. If you've seen any combat, my semi-automatic AR-15 is no match for what y'all had over there. Y'all had at least a 3-round burst. Higher quality, mil spec shit. Y'all had these military contracts. Well, these guns be running hard, bro. Right? We got cheaper materials down here in our guns, and we only got that single action for the most part, unless you get like a force reset. Or you get a binary, which is still semi-automatic, but it can get it put a little hot sauce on your burrito. You understand? So, y'all know that these ARs are not military weapons. No, they are not. There's so many things wrong with them that if I pass my AR to a guy on a field in Afghanistan or Iraq or someplace, he'll go, bro, you trying to get me killed? What is this, bro? You trying to get me fucked up, bro? This ain't good enough, man. What about my... He'll want something a little more than that, bro. It's not a military gun. There's two things wrong with that. Number one, my gun should be like his. First of all, there's something wrong with the fact that it can't be. I ain't never hurt nobody, but it can't be. That's how I know something's wrong, right? Well, it can if I buy it. If I buy the privilege, then I can go through some red tape and a few things and a few signatures and certain background checks, and then maybe I can get that right? But they'll sell it to me, right? And then I'm a criminal unless there's a money exchange and a contract between us. That's wild. That's not what the Constitution told you is supposed to happen. Y'all are goofy. But if you look at how all of that goes, right, with the laws, who's making the laws, you will realize that even when they are calling these things weapons of war, it is because they're worried about what you are going to do with it, and they see war in the future, and they don't want you to have the weapon of war, which is crazy because if they really cared about a republic that they're supposed to be protecting and a potential for a home invasion, especially when there's so much of the crisis around these border issues that they got going on, that they manufacture a lot of the crisis and all this other shit. I don't even want to get into that, but if you look into all of that, I'm surprised you didn't see the government saying, how about y'all buy some more guns, huh? How about y'all go shooting with your buddies? especially if you live in some of these bordering states. Go shooting with your buddies, get your practice up, buy some quality firearms and stuff, and just be diligent, because if anybody ever came here, that's y'all responsibility too. You don't have to enlist for that to be your responsibility. They in your backyard from a foreign country storming this bitch, and y'all got guns and won't take. Y'all have to take responsibility. You're going to have to do something. If you don't, then they might kill you. Your life is going to beg you to take responsibility. I shouldn't have to ask you. You are the militia, motherfucker. Don't play no games with this shit now. This is what your government should have been saying when we had a border crisis. But they said the opposite. They started talking about more and more gun control. Why would you trust them? Why would you trust them? That sounds insane to me. It sounds like insanity to me. You can't make it make sense. Nobody can. I disagree. The issue is that society accepts all we know as coming from said Constitution. When it doesn't, the police are a good enough example, completely unconstitutional. I disagree. The issue is that society accepts all we know as coming from. I hear what you're saying, Freedom Inc., but this is the conflict that me and you have about this topic. If the Constitution was ironclad, or if they let me write that Second Amendment, I would have worded it in a way that where it would have been irrefutable. It would have been completely irrefutable, because it would have included consequences. It would have expressed how deeply we would be searching for any sign of any level of infringement, and what we would do immediately, because what we would consider that. It didn't say all of that. And if it did not work, it didn't work. The fact of the matter is, it didn't work. You can look around and see that it didn't work. Like, it's not even debatable. Bro, this shit not debatable. It's not debatable. If you say, oh, well, the people fail, we're supposed to stand up to the blah, blah, blah. Nah, well, part of the fucking linguistics that's going on here is amendment, and they went, amendable. Fine. What do you mean? Changeable? Why? How? As soon as they say it's amendable, it was wrong because it's there. It was wrong in it being there, because it can only trick us. It can't free us. Are you telling me that the Second Amendment has some solid, good, wholesome purpose because it was meant to free us? The freedom is in the fact that, motherfucker, if you touch my gun, you're going to grab the barrel of this motherfucker. You're not going to grab the handle. I got the handle. This is how we doing this. A gun grab should have been a literal tour. Nothing that they can get on paper to try to get people to turn their shit over, or to refrain from purchasing or even caring about firearms. They got way more control over America with the gun control than what the paper says. The paper is the reason why some people don't get involved. Convicted felons can't even fucking have their shit. But what's a felon? Some shit they made up. A felon is supposed to be somebody who is deserving of life in prison or death. They turned it into something that they can also set you free about, so they can gun control y'all, when in reality, that was a sleight of hand. Do you agree with that there was a sleight of hand, that felons that are free to live their lives outside of a cage also can't have a gun? No? Ain't that a sleight of hand? Given to you by what? This illusion that they got some authority, and that this amendment is your gateway of negotiation to either preserve or lose your shit. But what the Second Amendment does not guarantee is a fight over infringement. It don't guarantee a fight over infringement. We have to do that. And if that's what you mean, I see what you mean. But the Second Amendment cannot give me more God-given rights than what I had before they started talking about negotiating my shit. The actual act of logging us into an arena of debate and negotiation about it is where we are inevitably going to lose, because I couldn't lose outside of it unless they killed me about it. Because ain't no negotiations out there. See what I'm saying? You just want to love that Constitution so much, bro. And that's okay. Love it. Support it. Let's see if it frees you. I bet you it don't. I bet you it don't. I bet you it don't. I bet you it won't. It hasn't. The ATF just tried some bullshit in the past like year or two right in front of the Constitution. They ass still walking upright. They should all be laying this way. But they not, though. Why not? Why not? You know why. You know why. Because it's not protecting us. It's protecting them from us fucking them up about infringements, because they got us into a fucking arena of debate. You tweaking. But it didn't restrict the government, though. But it didn't. Do you see what I'm saying? Because they think that this shit was negotiable. And then they negotiated. Every law on the books, every gun law on the books is an infringement. So how long have we been living the infringement? When they write the first gun law, bro? When they write the first one? When was the first time they said, we're going to use this government shit to dictate how this gun shit is going to go? And we're going to use this government muscle. It was set there before they used it to control us. It was already set there. Once it's there, there is the problem. We allowed the infringement. Why? Why? The 1890s. The first gun law. So that's 135 years? 35 years or so of living in infringement. Why did nobody revolt? Because the law is the law. I'm not saying that people didn't fail. I'm telling you the expectations that we would not fail inside of something like a concept. It sounds like a bad idea. If you would have told me, hey man, you got natural rights. These people that are well above you in social status and in their capabilities of being balanced, they're way above you, right? So now you got these natural rights and then this group of people. We are going to create a tool of negotiations that we're going to give to them to put between us so that you can maintain your rights. I had all of my rights when all they knew is they got to fight me for shit. When that's all they know, now we hold the debate to say, anything they want to say anything is going to have to be a fight because we don't listen to no court cases. Y'all drawing us in or making amendments. If you never lock it into something changeable, the angle that they have to change it will have to be violence because there is nothing else. That would have saved it or put all the pressure on the people to fight. But when you put the pressure over there, then people say, let's try the negotiations. All lost the negotiations. Then they got to boil the frog, right? They can't just turn it all the way up and just go for you. They got to do it little by little in the name of safety or public safety, and then they can do it. It's not just the Constitution. It's the media and other things that they use to try to circumvent the spirit of standing up to them. They always do shit in the name of public safety and shit. They got their manipulative ways, but they needed it to be an immutable thing inside of their court of law in order for us to accept the debate and then accept it losing the debate without fighting. That is the tool that does that, because the Second Amendment can't give me more rights than God gave, but it would be a gateway for them to take it from me with the expectation that I don't fight them. You do get that from the Second Amendment. I do not get no rights from it. I don't know why you can't logically wrap your mind around it. You're just so stuck and wanted to support that Constitution that you cannot talk against that shit. And that's okay. I, for one, don't give a fuck about none of that shit. I think that if it wasn't there, and every time they say somebody, motherfucker said, fight me, they would have to either fight or be like, bro, we don't fight over that shit, bro. Let them have their shit. The same fight that this don't tread on me fucking movement wants to have, if they cross that line, the movement should have been in fucking 1890. That's when they should have did that shit. They waving that flag right now. They look silly to me. They don't even think they mean that shit. They don't mean it. They in the face of infringements right now without doing nothing. Why? Because the law is the law. You see what I'm saying? That shit did that. It did not. It didn't give me nothing. You said it didn't give me nothing. I talk out against it all the time. You are missing what I'm saying. I'm just pointing out the misunderstanding of it. I've said this before. I've actually used this particular wording off of actually hearing somebody else put it to me in this way. They said the Constitution isn't the source of nobody's rights, and I go, you goddamn right it's not. I didn't get it from there. But only there can I find a place where somebody think that all of a sudden I lost the right and that I better not fight about it either. Only when I go there do I bump into the bullshit control and the expectation that I don't do nothing. Only when I go there, right? Me and this other guy, we understood that, but then he says, because the Constitution is a checklist. When government stops respecting all of these things, you know it's go time. And I went, I like this dude. I can't remember who he was. There was a passing guy on the fucking on the internet in my Facebook days. He said that, and I went, You're right, bro. It's the only thing that it can do. It lets you know when you have entered uh, the fight zone with them. It lets you know when, oh man, we finna have to do something to these motherfuckers, right? And even then, even he could not understand what I was saying, or to apply it sincerely when I said, if they knew that from the jump, they wouldn't be fighting us physically with shootouts and constantly overthrowing the government over and over again about this fucking shit. We wouldn't have fought 135 years about this shit like this. That shit would have been settled, bro. They've been boiling the frog for 130 some fucking years by saying only in certain states where they do it on a state level that a 30 round magazine be considered high capacity. Now I got 4 high capacity fucking magazines on me when I'm doing an open carry demonstration. In Iowa, motherfucking cops leave me the fuck alone because the magical paper says so. In California, they would shoot me down if I resisted. If I said, this is aligned with the Second Amendment according to the state of Iowa. I don't care if y'all think that is not here. I ain't even hurting nobody. I'm soliciting hugs from the public. Yes, I have 4 of these fucking magazines. Yes, there's one in the chamber. It's legal in Iowa. And I've never hurt anybody over there. For you to treat me like I deserve any and everything you do to stop me right now in this moment, even if it means you killing me, if you think that all of that is worth it, we are definitely watching a contradiction to the moral position that the Constitution is supposed to have, while the Constitution not even getting other states to go at other states for violations. Our enemies foreign or domestic, that's another part of the fucking constitutional shit that they supposed to be fucking living and dying by, that other states are watching it be violated and nobody's doing anything. It's crazy. Then what is it there for? It's not freeing us, but it is serving very well to get some people to say, hey, the law is the law, and to step out of shit and then accept changes to God-given rights and attempt the illusion of a change to God-given rights, which really all they're saying is either we're not willing to fight you to the death about that or we are. It's one or the other. There's no change in rights. You can't even lose no rights. When people say we lost rights, I go, you didn't lose shit. They just say they'll fight you about it, and you said, okay, I don't want to fight. You lost a fight. You didn't lose no rights. You got punked the fuck out. They said you're going to be a bitch about this shit, and you said, sir, yes, sir. That's what happened. You didn't lose no rights. I can't lose shit that I didn't get from them. What they do to the Constitution won't bother me at all. They fuck with that Constitution. We are not fucked. They are. So why would I care about it? I'm not worried about it at all. I'm just keeping tally over there. Like my buddy said. It's a checklist, bro. When they start doing that shit, I know that they saying that they willing to fight about some shit that's not finna change because they said so. It's not gonna change because they said so. Fuck them, right? If motherfuckers that really feel like that, they would look at the Constitution and go, you ain't been saving me. They could flush that shit down the fucking toilet. I'm not gonna feel like nothing. I'm still gonna feel like me, I think. Then I go, I don't want it there. I don't care if it's there. And then they go, oh, according to the Constitution, y'all come here and negotiate. I go, don't negotiate with them for them to win the fight. What you gonna do if they win the debate? You gonna let go? You crazy. Or if they win the debate, you gonna fight? You crazy. Sore loser. Tell them right now it's gonna be a fight. You don't even want to talk to them. I don't know, man. Let's see what he says here. I'm all for buying the Constitution. I don't know if he meant the word buying. Who endorses said laws? I said that the problem as a whole, grown people who believe know far more than they do. That is the crux that destroyed the freedom. I kind of see what you're saying, but if you go, if only y'all would have listened to the Constitution, I think you're talking about if only y'all would have won these fucking debates a little better. Like it seems like you're still supporting the one thing that gave them a foot in your fucking doorway to get your fellow Americans to be lost in the illusion that when they should be joining you in the fight, that they won't. It's a better way to control it. It's better than them saying, man, we can't talk to them about the gun shit. I guess we got to fight. They're not willing to fight you every time they want to adjust that or change that. They don't want to do that shit, bro. They want you to help them do it. They want you to be happy about it. They want you to be scared of for public safety and know that they are doing this in the best interest of public safety. If they can get all of those things to happen, even if they fake these fights and all this other bullshit and the gun stats and all that, bro, I don't trust them enough to think that a tool like that is something that's honorable, that's going to be a gateway to our freedom that they actually like. They like it because it gives them an advantage over us, bro. It gives them the hypnotic, lull these motherfuckers to sleep ass angle. It's the only way they can get that out of us. They can't get any of us to not fight them when we're supposed to be unless they have the Constitution to point to. Then we go, that'll be a reason why I don't fight this man. Because of these things that all make this fucking just makes sense to me, because Constitution. I think sometimes people go on their own perception instead of going on perspective. You need perspective. Your perception is personal. It can be biased. It'll have a little ego attached to it. So even if you're wrong, there's a chance that you won't admit the wrong, not to anybody else, not even to yourself, because you feel like you're in, you feel like you're in competition with every man or with the world. That if you learn something, I have to change your perspective on something that you already had your heart in, then it hurts and you don't like the way it feels and it's just not that cool and you feel like you don't got to do that shit. It's not like I don't understand it. But perspective is everything. I try to tell people sometimes, like, they seem like they understand what I'm saying. We almost kind of agree, but then there's this disagreement on something that's either semantics or just a slight shift in perspective, not your perception of what you think you see from your individual personal angle. I'm talking about what just makes sense from any vantage point that's true no matter who you are or where you came from. These are the things that are true. If government had no other way to curb gun control on a national level but to start fighting and controlling people, they will be less likely to do it. With a constitution, they can tell you constitution on a national level wasn't even good enough. They had to get a power to the state, because watching one state violate the Constitution in regards to something like the Second Amendment, for example, is easier to bear that than to have that movement be forced to be a national thing or nothing at all. On an individual level, each state can tiptoe through whatever level of tyranny or control about guns or other things that they wish to. They can tiptoe little by little, because each state has their own constitution and each state is damn near like their own country, and we all kind of mind our own business. And the state of Iowa will not attack the state of California for their constitutional violations, but they all said our enemies, foreign or domestic, but nobody's really going to live that life like that to actually go do that. That's why I don't respect any of them, and I don't have to. People have to. You're going to either take that constitutional seriously or not. Everybody wants me to take it seriously. So when I take it seriously, then I say all enemies, foreign or domestic. I'm taking all of this shit seriously. Y'all are watching the state of California violate gun rights and natural God-given rights while using the government muscle to do it, no less, which is a violation of U.S. Title 18, Section 241 and 242. The color of law cannot be the reason why you think it's okay to violate constitutional and God-given rights, period. It made its way to law, doesn't mean it is right. You're going to have to just know better. This is why being a cop is so hard, because you don't know if the framework of law enforcement, the flavor that they give you in one state versus another, because they can't keep it consistent, but you don't know if the flavor is still consistent with the overall aspects of the Constitution to not put the police officer into a constitutional violation. Cops in California are willingly, knowingly, or unknowingly violating the Constitution, says the Iowa state government. The Iowa state government is living a fucking life saying that everybody else is in some kind of a violation, probably. This is what they think. Or that they think that they themselves are in a violation and they're trying to get it right. Well, then let's talk about it, right? But this Constitution is supposed to be so magical, but they can't keep it consistent from state to state. It's the only way they can get us into any level of gun control or a tyrannical government control of the guns. Their gateway will be the Constitution. It won't be an all-out fight. They're not going to do that like that. They need that Constitution in order to move forward into being a tyrannical government, disarming their people. And if that don't make no sense to you or anybody else, I know that there is a cognitive shift in perspective, not in perception, in perspective that you need to have in order to even be on my level and what it is that I'm talking about. I think I'm just superseding what it is that you think you're saying. You're not going high enough. I am. I know where it's at. The inconsistency from state to state is a glaring contradiction in how the Constitution is supposed to go. And multiple states are in a state of being very wrong about something that they're supposed to be fighting about. That's what they told me they would. They said they'll fight and live and die to defend their Constitution against all enemies, foreign or domestic. You ain't got to make that up. That's what they say. Almost word for word, right? But they're not living it, though, because they've never fought a domestic, well, hardly ever have they ever fought a domestic fight to free a people from a branch or division of government that is on the side of tyranny. But Iowa knows goddamn well they see California in that light. They don't even got to say it out loud. I already know. We moved from licensed carry to constitutional carry in the past 3 years. There's been a progression to go from one to the other, getting a little bit closer to the freedom to the degree that they call what they did constitutional carry. They are saying this is what the Constitution was telling y'all to do, which means that before Iowa did that, they were inside of a constitutional violation. Then nobody get held accountable for that shit. And they also think that making this move makes them better than other states, while they are indirectly calling other states in violation of the Constitution in regards to that Second Amendment, and they're not doing nothing about it. Bro, the Constitution is making a quagmire of bullshit that I get to call out that I think would be very cut and dry if it wasn't there. Don't talk to us at all about the guns, or else it sounds like a fighting words to us, and we will take you to war about that government. Don't talk to us about nothing. You handle the ones that violate human rights by creating a victim with the gun. Those are the people you talk to, and then you talk to no one else, or else we fight you, because you start looking like a tyrannical government that nobody has to fucking accept or respect at all. We don't owe you no piece of nothing at that point, right? This is how it's all supposed to go. Government cannot get you into a position of servitude, locked inside of an elevated state of tyranny, unless they use the Constitution to get you to back down without them having to fight you. Otherwise, you will be fighting a crazy government that's fighting an armed people. They don't want to fight an armed people. If they ever want to move into tyranny, they are going to go for them guns first, and they would not have no other way to do that but the fucking Second Amendment and the Constitution, and you're watching them do it right in front of you and then denying it. Like that's not the gateway for them to do that. It is the actual gateway. Outside of that Constitution, the only gateway is for them to fight us head up and stop playing about it. Stop tiptoeing. Stop trying to trick me into helping you do that shit. The fuck? Y'all bugging. I'm the one. Everybody tweaking. Everybody tweaking. Fuck is y'all talking about? Man, I'm in this live stream, man. I've been running this one for a while, and my battery is on 6%. I could charge it, but I'm about done anyway. I got some other things I gotta handle. Wanted to do a live stream and talk my shit. Sorry I didn't pay more attention to the chat. I think y'all are used to it. Y'all just go right into having y'all little discussions between y'all. Y'all know what's up. Nunya from Texas on the back 20. What up? Austin, what's up, man? I don't know if I said your name earlier, but what's up, bro? Of course, Rick James, Sam Fisher, another one of my usual suspects that I just see who I think, yeah, Green Box Media, if you still in here, salute to you. One of the few people that ever sent me any kind of financial contribution to the movement, and I appreciate you for that, bro. If you're still here, I want you to know that I thank you for that. I don't know, man. I don't know what it is, but even though I would like it, I don't like the potential changes that I might have to make to how I do things in order for me to monetize what it is that I'm doing. I don't want to cheapen it. I should just be monetized by fellow gun owners in this fucking country just off the strength that I'm sticking up for y'all. That I want government to leave y'all the fuck alone, and that I think that keeping y'all eye on government, no matter where you are in your journey of a truth seeking, No matter where you are, I don't care where you are. I don't care if you still love the government and you got hope in the Constitution or the democratic processes or whatever the fuck. I don't care where you are in that. I want to say that if you own a firearm and you understand what I'm saying about your freedom to keep that gun and that government better leave you the fuck alone about it, that's all we need to agree on. Just know that I wish you luck on your journey. Damn, how do I say that in Portuguese? I know how to say that in Portuguese. Boa sorte. Boa sorte. That means no, I think that means good luck. How do you say safe travels on your journey? Faça uma boa viagem, I think it is. So faça uma boa viagem. All right. Good luck on your journey, on your true journey. Let me say this though. Keep your gun. Stop trusting the government so much. Um, Lead with your heart if you can. Bring your gun with you though, because you might need that because the world doesn't give a fuck about your heart all the time, and that's sad, but it's true. So just face it, right? And don't let nobody tell you that you can't have that gun, bro, for no reason. Because I think no matter where you are in your journey, you need to know that much, and then hopefully you can further your journey and survive to make eye contact with the real beast, whoever or whatever is really doing all of this shit to all of us. Hopefully you survive to make eye contact with it so that you know what the truth is. Until then, you don't need to know much. Just know that the government cannot be trusted. They're all fucking crazy. They're all crazy, moving in one direction for one goal. And you cannot let them or nobody else tell you that you cannot have that gun unless you have hurt somebody. And if you hurt somebody, the universe is going to tell you not to have that gun because you're going to cross paths with a would-be victim that's going to fuck you up. Because if you can have the gun, so can the sweet person who would have never did that shit to you. Um, that's all I got, man. Um, and then just get on with your journey, discovering whatever the truth is, whatever your truth is, bro. Just know that everything that you are getting is a manufactured linear story in the midst of infinite possibilities. So don't take it so seriously. The slavery thing could easily had not happened. And then in the world today, it could have been very possible, but the world fucked that up. It could have been very possible that black and white, when they see each other, there is an excitement between them of love and the expectation of a great teamwork to move forward to build a greater humanity for planet Earth. It should remind us at the time that we did that because our encounters and our relationships could have been built on doing that. And I think that we should be trying to act like that's what we deserve instead of falling headfirst into this racial divide as if it's worth it for you to hate all white people because they're white or to hate or distrust all black people just because they're black. If you fall into that, I know that there's a whole bunch of shit about examining the world at large that you haven't caught wind of, that you haven't got a grasp on yet. I can tell. If that shit entertains you, you got a lot to learn because the other shit, more important shit that you would have learned, would have made you push that shit to the side a long time ago. It's really a marker of intelligence and maturity and all of that if you let racial things get to you. I know it's an environmental thing, right? How you don't know that? You don't know how the world works. You don't know how psychology works. Any problem you got with a white person, that's an environmental thing. It's not a white thing. It's an environmental thing. And you know because you can find a white person that totally disagrees with this other white person who you don't like. You can't get all black people to agree on shit, so how can somebody hate all black people? It's weird. Y'all are just strange, man. Don't do that shit. You wasting your time and your energy. Uh, Fucking around on your soul's journey. You should be taking it more seriously than losing yourself, especially in the act of violence. About racial, man, shut your bitch ass up. So stupid ass. The IG guy, you're a weirdo, bro. You're way more of a savage than one of these kids in the streets carrying a gun for protection who might actually find it to be satisfying to kill whoever killed his brother. I don't even see nothing wrong with him. I see something wrong with you. You let a fight between two kids that are strangers. The black kid and the white kid were strangers. You didn't know either one of them, but you start thinking about black people swinging from fucking trees, bro. You are a strange person. You're a strange person, and that kind of violence I kind of like, because I would love to have bumped into you in person to either call you out for being a whole lot of tough internet talk when you know damn well it don't make no sense to live like that. Or you would actually create a physical conflict with me on site when you saw me, proving yourself to be more of an animal than the black kids that you probably taunt all over the internet all the fucking time, right? It makes you more of a savage. It makes you morally inferior to me, which means that I would just dehumanize you. You're a fucking animal if you saw me in person. The first thing you do is want to fight. I know good and goddamn fucking well you're gonna listen to me first. Yeah, you are. You're gonna want to talk first too. You're not gonna go straight to the violence. No, you're not. If you do, you're an animal. And if you don't fight me when you see me off top, you a bitch, an internet bitch. So I win. All I gotta do is show up, and I win. That's why I said I would like to bump into you, because I'm way too smart. I'm way too smart to understand what's going on here. I will respond in self-defense if you attack me. That will make you the bad person, right? That will make you the bad person. Now I get to attack you back in response to what you're doing. Or you show up and we talk and I prove that you's a bitch and that talking is always enough. To real men, talking is always enough. I can get to you and expose you for who you are, hurt your fucking manhood, and leave you in perfect fucking tact. You'll be intact to go home to your wife safe and unharmed. Your ego will be bruised, fucked up, beat the fuck up. But I wouldn't have to hurt you for real. Why would I need to do that? I would in defense. But just showing up will put you in your place, bro. Not because you a bitch, like I said earlier, not because you a bitch, but because you're going to revert back to what makes sense as a civilized man, that it doesn't make sense for you to treat every black person like that internet shit you was talking. You know that don't make no sense. You don't want to live like that. You wouldn't tell your kids to live like that either. You'd tell your kids to stay the fuck out of fucking trouble like that. Just leave that shit alone. To not die on that hill like that. Do something greater with your life. That's how you died, fighting a fucking black person just because they were black and they killed you. Oh, that's sad, bro. That'd be sad for you or your kids to go out like that. And you know better, bro. That's why you wouldn't act like that. You wouldn't just fight me on sight. No, you wouldn't, man. I know you're smarter than that. You just want to be tough on the internet because it sounds cool. Just admit it, right? RPM Trade Vietnam and this bitch Wu Bang. Get a gun because you deserve that. You don't gotta let nobody whoop your ass. You don't gotta let nobody hurt you, harm you, enslave you, tell you what the fuck to do, charge you money, extort you, and none of that shit. If there is no victim, there is no crime. Every seatbelt ticket is an extortion at the barrel of a government gun, a tax-funded gun. I don't owe you money because I didn't have a seatbelt on. Money is owed when there's restitution to be paid to a victim. Anything less than that is a constitutional violation, a violation of natural law. It makes you the bad guy, an extortion artist, a robber at gunpoint, a mugger, right? A gangster. To which I shouldn't even really have to respect or spare you or none of that shit. I should be able to act however the fuck I want to act to you about that after that. And you was cripping, I know what I could do to you. If you part of a fucking police department, I gotta let you do it though? No, I don't. Fuck y'all. RPM Trade Vietnam in this bitch.